I'm going to be re-siding my house with Hardie Plank. We're using a transit to get a level line around the house for reference. We're going to put the level line where it's easy to see, and then we're going to confirm those marks with a water level. I'm going to be going slow because I'm doing this myself with my sister's help if she can help me. I'm taking off 2 vertical panels at a time, addressing whatever issues, electrical or plumbing, I need to, and then insulating, putting the plywood up. If you are moving fast or have help, and you're able to remove all of the vertical siding or siding you have, and you're down to studs, you can do the same thing we're doing with the transit if you have one, if not with the water level. And in your case, you'll just be marking the studs. Again, I'm going to be marking the vertical siding. My sister is here siding the building with the transit. I'm using this poker. It's an ice pick. I use this ice pick and move along until sister can see it in the sights of the transit. When the ice pick is on the crosshairs of the transit and she says good, I poke a hole in it with the ice pick, circle it with a pencil, then we go on to the next. Again, we're getting a level line around the house. Now we've finished using the transit to set the level marks around the house and get our line. The level marks on the back of the home and that side of the home are higher than they are on this side of the home and the front of the home. The reason for that is we position the transit lower on the front of the home because my lawn area is sloped down. So what I want to do is transfer these marks that are at eye level and easier for me to see as I go alongside this home from the back of the home to this side of the home, and that's why I removed that picket, to have access for the water level to go around. We've already done that, and I'll show you that in just a bit. On this side of the house, this first panel is where the electrical panel is located, and I'm not going to change that. I'm also not going to remove that panel and put up plywood. I'm going to leave that panel, so that panel becomes my controlling panel for the height and position that all of the other plywood is set at. Because I'm not going to remove that panel, every other panel or piece of plywood needs to match that one so I can have level all the way around the home. These are our marks on this side of the home and on the front of the home, and they continue on and go to the front of the home. You can see how much lower they are than the marks we transferred from the back of the house. So what we did was bring the mark from the back of the house, which is at eye level, to the side here, which will continue on the side and to the front of the house, because it's easier to see that mark than it is this one down here, not at eye level. Now we're going to show you how we used the water level. This is the water I'm using for the water level. I'm going to put some food dye in it so that the water, when it's in the water level, is easier to see, the line is. I'm going to use red. Doesn't matter what color you use. I'm going to mix this up with a stick. Make sure it's the color I want. That's a little light, so I'm going to add more. So use your judgment about how many drops of the food color you want to put in there. This looks pretty good to me. We're going to fill the tube now, the line. It doesn't matter what size you use. We just have this around the house, so we're going to use it. That's about 5/8 inch in diameter. It's about 7 feet tall. You only need the length of line to get from your points, from one point to the next over there, and to get around the corner of the house. Got a little funnel here because it makes pouring the colored water in easier. She's going to pour it to right about there, and you'll see that the water, when she pours it in, will start coming up here. There's that water coming up now. You want to hold the ends of the line equal. There are some bubbles in here, y'all, that you want to hit out. but we're going to hit this up against a fence or something and try to knock out as many bubbles, air bubbles, as we can. You see that when she knocks them out, they rise to the top. So that's what it looks like right there. Ready to go and use. All right, y'all, this is how we use this. You see how she has that water level close to that mark with one end of the water level. I'm right over here at this end on this mark. So I'm going to move that water line a little bit, and you see how that water fluctuates. You have to let that water settle down before you take your marks. She's going to get the water level, her end, on that mark. She's going to split the mark. Once she's there, she'll say she's there.
I'm there.
She's there. Now, once the water settles from fluctuating up and down, the other person gets theirs on the mark. It's kind of hard to do it with one hand, so bear with me here. Now the water's fluctuating up and down. You want to wait till it settles. I'm splitting the difference. I'm on the mark. Do you see that, y'all? The water is settled, and I'm on that mark, splitting the difference of that mark. She's on her mark. So that means that these marks that we made from the transit are both level. So we have level from that mark to this mark. We actually like the water line better than the transit. It is very good at finding level for you. All right, now we're going to show you how we transferred this mark around the corner to the side of the house. Those marks on the side of the house, keep in mind, are lower. We want to bring those up to eye level. Sister will stay here with the water level, and I'll go around the side of the home. Sister's on the back of the house. She's on her mark and splitting the mark with her side of the water level. The water level's coming down. This is how you get around a corner. And coming up there, to my mark. We've already made this mark, and I'm splitting the line. So we have transferred the mark from the back of the home to the side of the home. This level mark right here is 57 1/16 inches. Oops. From the bottom of this panel. As I told you before, this is my controlling panel because I have the electrical box resting on that panel, and I'm not going to replace that panel. If you want to transfer that mark, say to over here, Sister's going to show you how to do that. You let the water equalize and stop moving. Then you're going to come up on that mark and split the difference of that mark. Once the water stops moving and you have the water level on this side to your mark, you're then going to have your mark set right here. Once you have the mark, the new mark set, you take a pencil or an ice pick, something to jab it. Put a mark right there. Now that mark is level with that mark. We took this straight edge and drew a line between these 2 points that we know are level points. If you want to transfer these marks and that line to this piece of trim, because the trim's on a different plane, it's not flat, you need 2 points on this trim to make that level line. Sister's going to show you how to continue this level line around a corner, say the corner of your home. First, she's going to guesstimate, based on that mark, where the water level should be over here. And on that side, she's going to raise that water level to the level mark she has. Once the water stops fluctuating, she's going to say she has a mark.
It's
there. Then if you're on this side, I'm filming so I can't. If you're on this side, you know that where that water line is, right there on that level, you put the point right next to it with a pencil. Then you move the water line over. You let the water stop fluctuating.
It's there.
And when she says it's there and she's on that mark, you then take a pencil and make a mark here. You continue these marks if you have to around this corner. Do the same thing. If you want to make a level line on the same plane, say the side of your house, you'll pull off the mark here that you just made that's level, and you keep moving down the side of your home. If you want that level point around this object on this side that you can't sight, here's how you do it. I'm bringing this water line over to the other side of this air conditioner, and I'm going to guesstimate based on the location of that mark where this should be. And I say it should be right about there. The water's not moving, and I tell sister, go ahead and get to your mark. She's going to use that water level
There.
and put it on that mark. She's now on that mark, and the water's not moving, so that's a level mark. On this side, the water's not moving, so that is your level mark. You take a pencil, mark it to the side, put a little dot to the side of that water where the water level is, and now that's your level mark. So now you're coming along your house, getting your marks, your level marks, and you need to get from this side of this window over to this side. Here's how you do it. Sister has a water level on that side. I have it over here, and I'm going to eyeball just about where I think that mark is.
Let it stop moving.
Once the water stops fluctuating up and down,
Okay, I'm there.
she's on her mark over on that side. The water has stopped fluctuating up and down. You take a pencil and you mark it to the side of that water level, and that's your level line. Now we're going to go around the entire house and confirm that the marks that we made with the transit are in fact level and good. We just wanted to show you how to use a water line. We like it actually more than using a transit. It's very accurate. We've used it even in putting tile in a bathroom. It turned out beautifully and level. So now you see that you don't need a transit to get a level line around your home to put up your siding. You can use a water line. It's effective and it's cheap. And that's how you use a water level to get a level line around your house to put your siding up. Hope it helps, and happy DIYing.